within sales at the time, probably the best job ever to have in sales and marketing in the very early 90s, 1990, 91, 92, was medical device and pharmaceutical sales. These were terrific jobs. You had company car, all expenses paid. You had expense accounts. These were back in the days when these reps would do big dinners and they would travel and have lavish meetings. Huey Lewis and the News would play at your national conference. I mean, it was just big money, and it was all being spent on the reps and the doctors and other people in the industry. So at the time, it was a highly sought after job. Well, I'll never forget this. I was in the supply room or materials management room talking to my buyer, and I met a guy who in college I fairly well idolized. He was the quarterback for the ASU Sun Devils. His name was Jeff Van Rapphorst. And he won the Rose Bowl for us. And I always thought it was a shame that he was passed over in the draft and never got it into professional ball. But he's there. He's a Medtronic rep. And I said, Jeff Van Rapphorst. He said, hey, and we met and everything. And he started really telling me about, what his job was like and what life was like and how much money he made, and all the fun he had and being on call and going into procedures and helping cardiologists out and all this other stuff. And I thought, man, I gotta get that job. So within a couple of months, I got a job in pharmaceuticals. And so I just, something clicked in my mind. I said, okay, I want to be a drug rep. And within 2 months, I was a drug rep. And so then I got into pharmaceuticals. Well, in pharmaceuticals, I developed even a closer relationship with physicians because that's all I did is I called on physicians in their offices. And my drug line, my product line, the company I worked for was Boehringer Mannheim. They were since bought out by Roche, and pieces of Boehringer Mannheim and Roche have continued on to this day. But we were in the process of launching a drug everybody knows now. It's called Carvedilol. It was the first of its kind. It was an alpha and a beta blocker. We designed and launched that drug. We also had some other drugs that are around to this day. Diabeta, which is for diabetes. I sold a drug called Lozol for hypertension. I sold a drug called Ismo for angina, isosorbide mononitrate. All this stuff's coming back to me. And so anyways, I sold all the drugs, and that's where I got into really the science of things. Pharmacology, in particular, pharmacology fascinated me, talking to physicians. And within a number of years, I said, well, I want to do what these guys do. I want to be a physician. This is really the marriage of, I guess, science and working with people and patient care. I think bringing those two things together were really the two fundamental. Now, of course, things have built up, and I've got a lot of other reasons why I like to do what I do. But that's what attracted me initially, was that. Well, so I went home the day I made the decision in my mind to my wife. We had, just been married for a couple of years, and we were thinking about starting a family. Fortunately, we were dinks, double income, no kids. Both affectionately known as trunk slammers. That is, somebody with a company car and lots of samples in their trunk that they always had to go get before they go in and make a sales call. We both had expense accounts. We were doing quite well as a young couple. Went home, told my wife I want to quit my cush job and go back to school. And we joke about it today, but back then it was over my dead body. You're not going back to school. Suck it up, Buttercup. Just keep doing what you're doing. You make a better living than most your age, and you could retire in 25 years, and just keep doing what you're doing. And I said, okay. Again, we joke about it today. It was just kind of a funny thing. But anyway, so together, after her initial hesitation, together we both decided that I would not go back to school, even though in the back of my mind, uh, I still had a love that for medicine that I had not yet realized.